1. Have you ever stopped to think what happens if you call the police in the father-son mission where Michael's yacht is being stolen? Or for example, did you know that you can trigger some secret dialogues with How when we enter Los Santos Customs? This varies a lot depending on the races you've done, if you've won, if you haven't won, and so on. That's right, my friends, in today's video we're going to have another video showing all the possibilities of GTA 5 missions, this time talking about the father-son mission, and man, trust me, there are plenty of possibilities and things in this mission. If you enjoy the channel, you already know, hit the subscribe button right at the beginning of the video if you're not subscribed yet, and also hit the like button. So, let's get started. The first thing we're going to test here in this mission is starting with Michael. Actually, it's not really a test, it's more like a possibility. We're going to start with Michael and then we're going to start with Franklin, because there are different ways to start this mission and that will generate kind of different cutscenes. So just for you to understand, when we start this mission with Michael, the starting point of the mission, I think the name is trigger for this. It's right in front of the house, right? Like right there at the front door. And then when you start this mission this way, there will be a dialogue between Tracy and Amanda, where the two are arguing and so on. I think Tracy wants her boyfriend to sleep over at their house and Amanda doesn't want that. Also, you can also avoid stepping on the trigger that starts the mission. You can go around and enter the house. However, if you go around and enter the house through another door, there won't be anyone inside the house, so you can go in and shoot or do whatever you want. However, as soon as you reach the part where the mission starts, the people will spawn inside the house, which is Amanda and Tracy. When you start this mission with Franklin, the trigger to start the mission, right? The starting point of the mission is closer to the pool, back there. It's not in front of the house like it was when we were with Michael. So when we start this mission with Franklin, there won't be that first dialogue. That's Tracy and Amanda arguing in the kitchen. It goes straight to that cutscene at the pool where Michael is listening to music, and then from Michael's perspective, we can see Franklin's face, and then they start the dialogue there and everything. You can also try to enter Michael's house directly with Franklin, but for that you'll have to use a mod or some kind of bug or glitch. But also, entering Michael's house, whether with Michael or Franklin, if you don't spawn the mission directly and enter the house will always be empty. After that, we will have a call from Jimmy. And then, if you simply decide not to answer Jimmy's call or hang up in the middle of the call, anything like that, simply Jimmy will send a text message super quickly. He types there really fast and sends it to you so you know what you have to do in that mission. This is very common in GTA 5, okay? Usually when you decline a call, regardless of the mission and etc., usually a text message comes to you. After that, Michael has to take Amanda's car to drive, and then Franklin will get in the car too. And the first possibility I tested here was not picking up Franklin, like just getting in the car and speeding off directly, and the mission simply failed. Like there was no different dialogue or anything like that. But while the mission doesn't fail, what's cool is that like Michael kind of talks to no one next to him, you know? Like he's talking to the wind. After that, I started with Franklin as usual, and one thing I tested is to stay still, like right in front of Michael's house, or drive around to other points on the map to see if the mission would fail due to time. And before you reach that part where the boat is, where the truck with the boat on top appears and so on, if you don't go there directly, guys, no matter what you're doing, you can spend 10, 20, 30 minutes, 1 hour. It won't make any difference. You can even get into a police chase and everything else, and the mission will not fail, because no matter how long it takes you to get to that first point where the truck will appear, until that moment, there is no time counting. So you can relax and do whatever you want. Also, if you have gained any wanted level in the meantime, as soon as you get to the part where the truck spawns, your wanted level will disappear. But if you want, you can get the wanted level again. Just provoke, I don't know, some damage, something like that, and then the wanted level will appear again. So when we get to this part, the truck usually passes by us very quickly. There's no time for us to reach the guy directly. So two things I tried here, and I was kind of disappointed, but anyway, I kind of expected that too, which is to come by alternative routes. The first one I tried was coming in front of the truck, so I took another path. I came here straight on the highway in front of the truck. I came really slowly, like so that when the truck appeared, I could try to shoot the driver or maybe like try to blow up the truck and so on. But man, it's extremely disappointing. First of all, it's very difficult to hit the driver because the truck comes almost at a jet speed. It's simply bizarre. And if you try to blow up the truck when it's coming from the front or something like that, you also can't do it, right? You shoot, but the truck is completely indestructible. If you go around and come from behind where the truck would appear, like from the highway side, but behind where the truck would appear, you'll see that it takes a while for it to spawn until you get close to where its spawn location would be. And then when you get close, it just spawns and drives off fast, like really fast. Kind of you don't have much reaction time and you also can't catch up to it. After that, I tried to catch up with the truck and I was shooting at the tires, I was shooting at the driver, I did everything I could do, and man, nothing changes. The truck is 100% indestructible. In fact, if you throw sticky bombs on the truck, you don't have the option to detonate the sticky bombs, which is kind of a bummer because I wanted to test it. So a way I found to test these sticky bombs was the following. I threw some sticky bombs like on the side and I tried to shoot at the sticky bombs, and then when you specifically do that, then the truck explodes but the mission fails. Like nothing different happens, and it's very difficult to hit the sticky bomb stuck on the truck with one shot, but you can do it after a little bit of patience. Another thing that I also tested when I was playing with these weapons on the yacht was throwing a Molotov. So for those playing this mission, like in the beginning of the game, you don't have the Molotov unlocked, but if you have somehow unlocked the Molotov, just replay the mission to test it and see that this really crazy bug happens here. When you throw the Molotov gets stuck, you know, like burning there and everything. However, the NPCs that are up there, they don't die, they are not affected by the fire, they are kind of in a sort of invincibility limbo. Neither Jimmy nor Franklin nor anyone is actually affected by the fire that will be catching on the boat because of the Molotov. The other thing I wanted to see right after that, since the weapons issue didn't go very far, was what would happen if I let Franklin climb up on the boat, which is the first action you take, and then stop the car to see if there was any secret cutscene or something like that, because there will be some cutscenes later on. So I wanted to know if in this specific part there would be any secret cutscene, and there isn't. The mission simply fails because you couldn't reach Franklin. Another thing I tried to do as well was to stay far enough away so I wouldn't get shot by the car's engine. Because I don't know if you guys had noticed this, Michael's car, it has an issue because the first guy that shows up to confront Franklin up there where they both start fighting, they end up firing a shot accidentally. That hits the hood of Michael's car and damages the engine. So I tried to stay far enough away so supposedly the shot wouldn't hit. And then what happened? And what I understood, if you don't shoot the first guy up there, who is the guy that's going to fight Franklin? Nothing will happen. Franklin will be able to throw the guy off the top normally after the shot hits the engine. 16. If you stay too far away, like trying to avoid getting shot, etc., the NPC can throw Franklin off the boat, and then Franklin will fall and the mission will fail. And if you get close enough to Franklin to be able to, I don't know, shoot the guy or something, Franklin will manage to throw the guy. But inevitably, there will be the shot in the engine. So kind of this part of the engine shot is impossible to avoid. If you stay far away, the mission fails. And if you get at least a little close, the shot in the engine will happen and the car will be damaged. Continuing with the mission here, so we have, I think, 4 guys who are going to show up trying to start a fight with Franklin or Jimmy on the boat. The first guy, I already explained what happens. The second guy, if you don't shoot at him, he will like kind of pressure Franklin to fall off the boat. If you don't shoot at this one is 100% mandatory. He will throw Franklin off the boat and the mission will fail. As for the third guy, even if you don't shoot at him, Franklin will manage to get rid of the guy and throw him off the boat. So from the second guy, Franklin can't get away. From the third one, Franklin can. The fourth guy who shows up there in the middle of all this yacht brawl is the guy who will try to like pass holding onto that sail. I'm not exactly sure if that's a sail or not. I forgot the name. He will try to knock down Jimmy who's hanging there and so on. If you don't shoot at this NPC before you save Jimmy, he will knock down Jimmy and the mission will fail as well. So either you save Jimmy really quick or you shoot at this guy. One thing I also tested in this mission was trying to call the police. I tried calling the police twice. The first time, as soon as we pick up Franklin and get into the car to go to where the boat would be, I tried calling the police a few times there. The police contact is not saved, so you have to dial 911. But it doesn't work. You don't have the option to choose police, fire department, paramedics, etc. Like the call kind of goes through and then gets disconnected. Then I tried again at this part where the shootout is already happening on the highway. And sometimes it works, but most of the time it gets disconnected too. When it does work, you can even hear the police siren somewhere, like the cops are heading to the location where you are. However, you never actually see any police cars.
Hello, this is 911. What emergency service do you require? Thank you. Police officers are en route to your current location.
One thing I also tested here was to deviate from the route during this shootout part, and inevitably the mission fails. However, there is a very important detail. If you are close enough to the boat to use the cinematic camera, even if you deviate from the route when you press to enter the cinematic camera, Michael's car will be teleported directly to like close to the boat again. So if you are, I don't know, falling off the bridge, walking underneath, have the wrong route, and you manage to press the button to go to the cinematic camera, basically you go back to the normal mission. And also an important in detail about the cinematographic camera in this mission is that during the time you're using the cinematographic camera, the car is automatically controlled, so you don't actually need to be driving. The only thing that doesn't happen is that in moments when you need to shoot at an NPC or something like that, that won't happen. So you have to switch back to manual mode and shoot at the NPC or save Jimmy or save Franklin. But if it's just a matter of driving the vehicle and looking through a cinematographic camera, you can press to enter the camera and you'll see that the car will be driven automatically throughout this journey. One thing I also noticed when I was playing, throwing various Molotovs, sticky bombs, shooting everywhere, is that specifically in this part when Jimmy is hanging, if you manage to throw a Molotov directly at Jimmy, you have to hit the bottle on him. If you do that, Jimmy will fall to the ground on fire. However, he won't die like it would happen if he was thrown off the boat or if you fail to save him in time. But even funnier than that is that he will fall to the ground, he won't die, he will stand up, but his voice will keep playing as if he were still on the boat, which is really crazy. And if you arrive later at the point where you should save Jimmy, which is under the sailboat and so on, even though Jimmy has already fallen from there and is on the street, complaining and all, he will be respawned back on the boat just to fall into the car later. Man, it's a crazy, buggy mission, and in case like you let the mission play out normally or you don't save him, even though he has already fallen on the ground, it will result in mission failure as if you hadn't saved Jimmy as well. So, talking about mission failed for not saving Jimmy or not saving Franklin, we have two secret cutscenes in this mission. The first cutscene is as follows. If you don't save Jimmy or Franklin, right, you killed the guys on the yacht and all that, but you couldn't rescue either Jimmy or Franklin, there will be a cutscene where Michael, he kind of has a rage outburst because the car broke down and everything, and he couldn't save anyone. Just take a look. The second cutscene we have happens if Michael manages to save Jimmy, but he doesn't manage to save Franklin. In this cutscene, Michael also gets really pissed off because the car breaks down exactly in the same place. However, this time, there is a slightly longer dialogue where he talks to Jimmy, kind of gives a moral lesson and such, and shows that he was valuing what Franklin was doing there to help both him and Jimmy.
Ah! Dad, don't be all butthurt. At least you got me out of there.
You listen to me, you little shit. That kid just jumped off the hood of a moving car to save your ass, and now he's gone. And so's my boat!
After that, there's something we can do here only for those playing on PC, which is to use the mod to follow the yacht to see where it's going and so on, and you can see that it goes really fast, cutting through the whole city and all. At a certain point, the truck disappears, only the trailer remains, with the boat on top, flying and all, like kind of floating even, and then until it gets to the front, at a point on the map where it's 100% still. You can even go on the boat, but the mission is kind of glitched at this point here, and if you simply take the boat out of view and then look back again, it disappears. If you're playing on consoles and want to like chase the boat, right? If you want to get ahead of it, there's a way for you to follow this boat all the way. But in order to do that, you have to glitch the mission. How do you do that? Right at the beginning, where you should help Franklin get on the boat. Instead of helping Franklin get on the boat, very quickly, you have to stop the car and find a way to get Franklin off the hood of the car. Like you climb up there, pushing him and all, it's kind of going to work. After that, you take Michael's car and reach the yacht. The mission will glitch, and I'm not exactly sure like how it works, but it will stop spawning the next steps since Franklin is no longer on top of the car hood. With that, you can follow the truck all the way to its final destination. It's a bit tricky, okay? But it's worth it if you want to follow through and all. You can give it a try. I've tested this on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 versions. Not sure if it works on the PlayStation 3 version. But for those who have a PlayStation 3 or an Xbox 360, give it a try and leave a comment here, so we can find out if it also works on the first generation of GTA 5. Got it? Well, after chasing the yacht, etc., and doing all sorts of crazy stuff we could do here, there is also a possibility that many people didn't know about, which is the following. If you follow the mission normally, and then you save Jimmy and save Franklin, then Franklin jumps on the hood of the car and everything. At that moment there, you don't need to chase the truck until, like, the car actually breaks down. At that moment, after Franklin jumped on the car, if you want to already maneuver the vehicle and go straight to Los Santos Customs, you can do that perfectly. It will actually save you a lot of time in the mission. There's a shortcut here that you can take, turning right and all, going down here on the grass. This will also shorten a lot of time. For those who want to do this mission quickly, I think it's even worth it. So when we get here at Los Santos Customs, there are some interesting possibilities. The first thing is the following. When we enter Los Santos Customs here, there's How inside. This How, he's a character that participates in some races within the game in Painting. You can do some strange and crazy missions for him. And there are some dialogues that he has as soon as you enter. The first dialogue happens when Franklin hasn't done any of the secondary missions races with him, which is this dialogue here.
Still need to get you out for one of the races, Franklin. See if you drive as fast as you talk.
The second dialogue is when Franklin has already done How's races, at least one race, and lost one of them.
Surprised you're still not licking your wounds after losing that race, Franklin.
And the third dialogue is when Franklin did the races and won the races. Just take a look.
For a second, I thought you'd just come here to talk smack about that race you won.
Besides Hal's dialogues, there are also some really cool dialogues here from Jimmy, which goes like this. You arrive here and you have to fix Amanda's car. However, if you go to tune Amanda's car, no matter what part it is, there will be some different dialogues, some even kind of heavy, that Jimmy ends up talking about Amanda and so on. And they are really cool. Take a look here. Like, you don't necessarily need to buy, you just go in to buy like a wheel, a window tint, something like that. And then the dialogue with Jimmy will start.
Toy boys gonna flock to my mama in this ride. My mama's car had almost as much work as my mama. Power equals pussy. Or maybe like penis, in my mom's case.
Well, after that, from the Los Santos Customs to Michael's house, there aren't many possibilities left. But after that mission, there's something you can do, which is the following. Jimmy will send a message to Franklin telling him to add him on Life Invader and so on. And then if you try to call Jimmy, there will be a secret call, which is this one.
Franklin!
What's up, bro? You good?
Yeah, Trill, homie.
How's your dad?
Yeah, fine, I guess. I mean, he should be, right? He got you to help him out with stuff. I mean, I don't really see what he's adding in this partnership.
Hey, look, bro. Man, I don't want to say too much on this phone, but things ain't good where I'm from, man. You know, ain't no glamour like you thinking, and, man, I'm sick of putting myself out, man, and not getting paid, homie. Now, your dad, he seemed like a dude to put himself out, man, and got something to show for it. So I'm hoping some of that shine rub off on me, man. You feel me?
Did you just say the streets are tough, and it's tough if you're like a good man in a bad world? I share your pain, homie. For real. Homies for life.
Yeah, man, I gotta go.
In addition to the call, you'll also be able to see a dialogue on Weasel News Radio. The news like talking about the shootout, the boat robbery on the highway, etc.
High-speed gun battle on a Los Santos freeway.
Shock and terror on the Del Perro freeway earlier as two groups of men engaged in a high-speed gun battle over a luxury yacht. The Weasel News team was there just minutes too late, as usual, and spoke to this man.
I thought it was a joke or some prank until a bullet came through the window and tore through my artery. Now, if you don't mind, I need to go to the hospital.
This same news will also appear online in the game, and there will be some comments both on Bleeter and on Jimmy's Life Invader talking about what happened in this mission and so on. I think that covers all the possibilities of this mission. Another mission that also has some really cool possibilities is the repossession mission. It's the one where we have to steal the bike in Vagos territory and all. There are alternative routes and many other things you can do. If you want to know exactly what I'm talking about, man, click here next to the yellow arrow. You're gonna love this video. It turned out great. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Until the next video then, take care and see you later.